Call to order the zoning meeting of Knox County Commission for Monday, July 24th, 2023. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Lundy.
Here.
Commissioner Darrett.
Here.
Commissioner Oster. Here. Commissioner Ward. Commissioner Schoonmaker.
Here.
Commissioner Hill. Here. Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Beeler.
Here.
Commissioner Daly. Here. Commissioner Jay. Commissioner Frazier. All members are present.
11 members. We do have a quorum. Director Moyers, I'll turn it over to you for those who are here to testify.
All right, if you're here to testify on any matter, either for or against anything that's on the agenda, please stand and raise your right hand. If you're an applicant for a rezoning, if you're here to speak to this body, please stand and raise your right hand. You might as well do it now because we're going to make you do it when you come up. All right. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, will you please read the first item?
The first item is number 42, 6-D-23-RZ. It's a request of Jack Smith for rezoning from A, agricultural to PR plan residential up to 4 dwelling units per acre. Property is located at 3416 Zion Lane, parcel ID 091-03901.
Is the applicant present? Yes. Please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Jack Smith, 3416 Zion Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee.
Thank you. Is there any opposition to this item or anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none. Director Brooks.
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve PR Plan Residential Zone with up to 4 dwelling units per acre because it is consistent with the sector plan designation and will allow development compatible with the surrounding land uses and zoning pattern by a vote of 13-0 consent.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, would you like to speak to your project? Let us know what you're doing.
Yes, I would like to put a...
Speak into the microphone, please.
Sorry. Yeah, I would like to put a 4 dwelling unit on the acre of land that I have for multifamily.
Okay, so 1 unit,
Yeah, 4.
four dwelling, but 1 structure.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll now look to my fellow commissioners for any questions or discussion. Seeing none, I will look to Commissioner Hill for a motion.
Hi, Mr. Smith.
Hey.
Just one question. You're going to put a fourplex?
Yes.
Okay. I have no objection to this at all, and I'd make a recommendation that we approve rezoning from ag to PR up to 4 per acre.
Second.
Okay.
Motion is to approve Planning Commission's recommendation by Commissioner Hill with a second by Commissioner Frazier. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Good luck with your project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, next item, please.
It's item number 43, 6H-23-RZ, request of Roy Anderson and Stephen Paget for rezoning from A, agricultural to PR plan residential up to 5 dwelling units per acre. Property is located at 842 East Raccoon Valley Drive, parcel ID 026057 in the 7th Commission District.
Is the applicant present? Roy Anderson or Stephen Paget? Or someone representing them at 842 East Raccoon Valley Drive? Okay, we will move that to the end. Yes.
Item number 46 is 5-A.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, it is 40. Why is 44 deferred? Oh, it was added today. Yeah, 44 is deferred.
Okay.
We approved it earlier.
Yeah, under amendments. I think we did it under.
We did it under amendments. to the
Okay.
agenda.
Madam Chair, may I just ask one question before
Yes.
we move on? I'm noticing that item 45 is been deferred. Do we know when this request for deferral came through?
Just a second.
I ask because I've got some people here wanting to address it, and I didn't know. I didn't realize it'd been deferred either.
Is this the one where he was doing grading illegally and all that? Is that the right?
There on Oak Ridge Highway.
Yeah, we were the one that deferred it.
The first time, but
The
it's been
first time it's been
again.
deferred again, it was last week.
Last week.
It was on the agenda before, with it being on there.
You can always let them speak.
You can let them speak. if you want to.
All right. If there's no objection, I would appreciate it being read because I recognize at least one person here, I think, that would like to speak to that, maybe two.
Okay. It's item 5-C-23-RZ is a request of DC Foundations Incorporated for rezoning from A agricultural to OB office, medical, and related services. Properties located at 6789 Oak Ridge Highway, parcel ID 079-049-01 in the 6th Commission District.
Thank you. I'm assuming the applicant is not here, since it's deferred. Is there opposition to this? Okay. Please approach the podium. Did both of you get sworn in?
Yes.
Okay.
And let me apologize before you begin about this deferral. It's my bad. It totally got by me, or I would have called you and let you know.
you.
I'm very, very sorry about that.
That's okay. It is what it is. And I have some
Will you pull the microphone down?
short people problems.
Thank you.
And I have some photographs of the property over the course of time that he's been doing the grading. I don't know if I can hand it and y'all can pass them around so you just kind of have an idea of what we're looking at, what we're talking about.
Yes, please state your name and address for the record.
Cassie Kiesler, 4712 Hazelnut Drive. Oh. And I think I've got them in reverse order, so the ones in the back are the ones from the farthest back when he first started. Okay, thank you. So do you want me to talk, or do you want to wait until you kind of get a chance to look at them? Oh, look, there it is, part of it anyway.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so I live just down the creek from there. And originally it started out that the permits and things that were pulled for this property were for a single-family residential dwelling with a detached garage, which from the time he started building that property, that was never his intent. And he has also changed the grade of the land there pretty dramatically. That's in the floodplain. And as someone who lives down the creek from there, because he's backfilled so much of that, it has severely impacted drainage and more flooding on my property and my neighbor's property. To my knowledge, he has not pulled any of the correct permits or done any of the things that he is supposed to do to change the land the way he has been. So I have problem with the fact that he's just kind of doing whatever he wants and then coming up later and asking for permission after the fact. I just really have issue with that. And he owns the property. You can kind of see the driveway across the street, kind of catty corner, which is also still listed as a single family with a detached garage. And he's run that concrete business out of there for, 4 or 5 years now? And he parks heavy equipment and big trucks there all the time, which is the same thing he started doing at this property, which he said that they weren't going to park the trucks there. They might come and go during the day, but there are large pieces of equipment and trucks sitting there all the time. So, I mean, he just says one thing and then does another, and I didn't think that's how we did things. Maybe I'm just naive, but so.
Will you please restate your name for the record?
Sure, it's Cassie Kiesler,
Okay. Can you spell that, your last name?
Kiestler.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Kiesler? I know the pictures are going around now.
Yeah.
If not, so
Alvin, you want to speak?
Sir, would you like to speak?
Trade out.
If so, please state your name and address for the record.
Alvin Austin,
Alvin Austin?
yeah,
Nice to meet you.
6715 Ball Road.
Okay.
And if he's going to run it as a business, I've got a small business right up the road there. And of course, I've got a smaller lot. And one of the things that I had with the county is holding pond, which I eventually finally got away because my lot was just too small for the business and the holding pond. He has adequate room, you know. If you're going to be having tractor and trailer trucks, large trucks that might have an oil spill or diesel spill or something like that, you need a holding pond. The number two thing is, if he's going to run a business out of there, you got to have handicap accessible. This house is not handicap accessible, so he's already running the business out of there and has been for several months. So, you know, it's kind of the type thing is, if you allow him to proceed, how much farther will he go? Okay. You know, where does it stop? I had heard rumors that he wanted to put a batch plant in there to mix his own concrete and stuff like that at one time. So does it proceed into something like that, you know? And that's what's got us more concerned on it, because it's just not a good location for that particular thing, you know?
Thank you.
It also, his property backs up to the creek, and you can kind of see in the very forefront of that photo where he cleared some of the land out and piled up the brush right against the creek bank. And I have a picture of it. And then there's another picture farther in there where some of that washed down across other people's properties and has hit your fence right up against the edge of the road. And he's never cleared that up, never cleaned any of that up. You know, and with the trucks and all that, and he's got a large commercial gas tank, like that you would fill a heavy truck with, like it's probably, 300, 400 gallons, that's sitting right at the edge of that graded space, which is in the floodplain, which is kind of concerning as well.
Thank you. Commissioner, since the applicant isn't here, we just discussed with our law director, we can't really deliberate this at the moment. It's deferred. They are here, we're allowing them to voice their opinion, and you're more than welcome to come back next month as well, but since you're here, we wanted to allow you the time to speak to us. So,
Do you know why it was deferred?
yes.
It was at their request.
There's a letter he sent. Basically, it says they're working to purchase a new property that would be appropriately zoned for the repair of its vehicles.
Madam Chair.
So potentially it's to maybe not be located at this location.
I mean, that would, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not anti-business, small business, like, I want people to be able to make a living and do what they need to do. I just want them to go about it in the correct way, following the laws and regulations that we have in place. You know, I would do that if I was trying to start a business. I would come and do the things that I needed to do in the right order.
Yeah,
So,
I understand. Commissioner Daly?
That is the reason it was deferred, to go to engineering, and engineering is checking, so you need to come back next month, because a lot of the questions, it's what you brought up, was brought up last month. That's why it was deferred.
okay.
Commissioner Hill?
Just one question to Mr. Snowden. If in fact he is operating a business, though, without a license, is that anything that could be taken action on until we do finish with this?
You know, this gentleman owns a piece of property on the north side of Oak Ridge Highway that we have him under a notice of violation for that, of running a business. This particular location, I don't believe we have that. He has got a permit from our office to build a single-family home here, but it's permitted as a residential structure, not a commercial structure.
He is currently running his business out of the new place. He has his office girls coming and going every day.
and we can check into that.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
I was just waiting to see where my pictures got.
They're
to.
right here.
Okay. All right, they can keep going, I guess, and when they get down to you, Kim, I'll get them from you, okay?
Okay. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 46, 5-A-23-SP is a request of Homestead Land Holdings LLC for a North County Sector Plan Amendment from LDR Low Density Residential to MDR Medium Density Residential, properties located at 7642 Old Clinton Pike, parcel ID 067AB01303 in the 7th Commission District.
Is the applicant present? Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, I'm Russell Rackley with Rackley Engineering, P.O. Box 30456, Knoxville 37930, representing the applicant, Homestead Land Holdings. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any opposition to this item or anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, Director Brooks, will you please read us Planning Commission's action?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the sector plan amendment to the MDR Medium Density Residential Land Use Classification because it provides a transitional land use between adjacent commercial and single-family uses by a vote of 12-0 consent.
Do you wish to speak to this project?
Say again?
Do you wish to speak to this project?
I just respectfully ask for approval.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions or discussion regarding this particular item? Seeing none, I will look to Commissioner Lee, the District Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sir, what are you planning on, what are your plans for this property?
Residential, attached residential townhomes?
Townhomes?
Yes.
And how many townhomes would that be?
We have a concept plan approved, subject to rezoning for 47, which is within the zoning density that we're asking for.
47 townhomes?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there something currently there?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Is there something currently on that property?
Yes, there's 6 trailers on the front, and the rest is just open pasture.
Okay. The people that live in the mobile homes, they live there?
Yes.
Have you taken steps to notify them they've got to move, or?
Yes,
I've had
so
several calls about those.
right. So the residents in the mobile homes are currently on and have been for the last 2 years on a month-to-month lease. By law, we owe them 30 days notice. Our purchase contract with the current property owner is to provide 60 days notice upon closing. So, and we have asked since day one for the current property owner to notify his leaseors that he is selling the property and that the new owner may choose to do something differently than the 6 trailers that are on it. So, and I have a letter I don't have it with me, but I have a letter from our attorney I can provide. But we're well within state statute for tenant rights based on the terms of their lease being month to month. We owe them 30, we're giving them 60.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the sector plan amendment to MDR land use classification because it provides a transitional land use between the adjacent commercial and single-family land uses.
Okay. Motion to approve Planning Commission's recommendation for the sector plan to MDR by Commissioner Lee with a second by Commissioner Oster. Commissioner Schoonmaker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. South of the trailers, what are the 3 structures that are on the property?
South of the trailers would be Old Clinton Pike. Do you mean north of the trailers?
Okay, well, I guess, sure.
I'm sorry, I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
I deal with maps.
We don't know which way is north, south, east.
South of the trailers is across Old Clinton Pike.
Okay,
is
no,
that
so
large
it'd be
trailer park.
East then?
East of the trailers
There
would
looks like
be
3
that-
dwellings?
East of the property is a rent-assisted elderly apartment complex. That is a HUD-financed apartment complex originally owned by Knox County, but now owned by about 3 other entities that are taking the tax credits or whatever else.
Is that part of your total 12?
No, there's nothing on this property other than the trailers at the front.
Okay.
And I said 6, but if you want to pull up, it may be 7, maybe 5. You can pull up a map. I may have
Okay.
misstated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Motion on the floor is to approve. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Don't go too far. Madam Clerk?
The next item is 5-D-23-RZ. It's also a request of Homestead Land Holdings LLC for rezoning from A agricultural and RB general residential to PR plan residential up to 6 dwelling units per acre, and the property description is the same as the previous item.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Russell Rackley with Rackley Engineering, P.O. Box 30456, Knoxville 37930, representing Homestead Land Holdings, the applicant.
Thank you. Is there any opposition to this item or anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, Director Brooks, will you read us Planning Commission's recommendation?
Planning Commission recommends that County Commission approve the PR Plan Residential Zone with up to 6 dwelling units per acre because it's consistent with the surrounding development, subject to one condition by a vote of 12-0 consent.
Thank you. Anything you wish to add that we didn't cover?
No, respectfully ask approval subject to MPC recommendation.
Thank you. Commissioners, any discussion, questions for the applicant? Seeing none, I will look to Commissioner Lee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would make a motion to approve the planned residential zone with up to 6 dwelling units per acre because it's consistent with the surrounding development, subject to one condition.
Motion is to approve Planning Commission's recommendation, subject to one condition, by Commissioner Lee with a second by Commissioner Beeler. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you.
you. Good luck with your project. Madam Clerk, next item, please. Oh, yeah. Let's go on to the ordinance.
Item number 48 is ordinance O-23-7-101, amending the Knox County Code, Appendix A zoning, Article 2, Section 2.20, specific terms, to amend the definition of swimming pool. This amends ordinance O-90-9-130, adopted September 10th, 1990. This is on first reading.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Daly with a second by Commissioner Frazier. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. We do need to do a roll call vote. Sorry.
Commissioner Oster. Aye. Commissioner Ward. Aye. Commissioner Schoonmaker. Aye. Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Lee. Aye. Commissioner Beeler. Aye. Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Jay. Commissioner Frazier. Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Durrett.
Aye. 11-0. That motion passes. We are now back to item 43.
That was the request of Roy Anderson and Stephen Paget.
Either applicant ready? Nope. Will they get another notice?
On the last topic.
Is that Commissioner
I had a
Ward?
question for the last topic.
Oh, the ordinance?
Yes. Do we need to set a public hearing?
Yes. We will. Or did we or do we? Right, yes, we do. We will. I guess for our next zoning meeting. Anything else? Any other business come before this zoning committee? Motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.